Hello and welcome to another episode of Klaus's Random Thoughts, a series of videos where I talk about new games that I've played recently and give you my thoughts on them. Today's game we're going to be talking about is Ghost of Tsushima. Tsushima? Still don't know how to say that. Give you an idea about this game. This game was made by Sucker Punch. They made games like Sly Cooper, or most recently before this, the Infamous franchise, their last one being Infamous Second Son. So this is a new IP for them. Just to let you know. Does any of that help with what we're about to talk about? No, but I thought I'd let you know. Let's get right to it. The story. I liked the story a lot. It was really well done. It made me care about the characters involved. Made me care about the choices that were chosen and the consequences that were consequenced. It was really good. I liked it a lot. Compared to our last game, it's vastly different from Paper Mario the Origami King. Obviously, one is going to be more angled towards children, while another be more angled towards teens and adults, like Ghost of Tsushima. So, vastly different stories. But I will have to say, I think I cared about the side characters' stories the most. Give you an idea what I'm talking about. You meet up with these characters that eventually become your allies. And they have their own stories along with them. As you progress through their stories, you learn more about these characters and they get fleshed out more and they get more in depth. And it was literally the same thing, but you know what I mean. And it was really fun to learn about them, about these characters and the story that they are going through at that moment. I thought that they did that really well, and it made me care just a little bit more about those than the actual main story themselves. It was really well done. It felt like I was watching a movie a lot of times, to be honest, and I mean that in the best way possible. It felt like I was watching a really long movie. But I think you can also thank to the cinematography of this game a lot for that. Speaking of how this game looks, let's talk about the graphics. It is crazy beautiful with wonderful settings. It still amazes me how much developers can push the hardware of the PlayStation 4. I said the same thing with Last of Us Part 2, and I'm saying it here again. This is a gorgeous game, and I'm surprised by it. It's an open world game, but every area that we've been to in the game feels unique. And just makes you want to take screenshots of it, and it feels immersive of that nature. But you can also, and then with the integrated navigation and the way you can find secrets, even makes it more so. Give you an idea what I'm talking about. The integrated navigation. I think it's called guiding winds. I don't know what they call it in the game, but if you go on your map and you set a waypoint to a certain area, it will trigger the guiding winds. And when you get out of the map and you go back into the game, a breeze will point to the direction where you need to go, wherever you set the waypoint. And it's very easy to re-trigger the gust of wind with a swipe on the touchpad, I believe. Yeah, swipe on the touchpad, and it'll trigger that gust again. It's non-intrusive. It's not like a waypoint just floating in the graphics at all. It's part of the environments, and it's just keeps your immersion within the game. They do the same thing when finding secrets. You have little birds, for instance, to show you where to go to find a piece of gear or something like that nature. If you follow it, it also has sounds and stuff. You can also do this just by paying attention to the environments itself. If you know what fox dens look like, you can just immediately spot them and go to it and figure it out, and it'll trigger the whole thing. You can also do this with smoke and different environments of that nature, and they do that so well. It just keeps you immersed in the game. And the game's beauty is just, well, it's beautiful. It makes you want to take screenshots, and for the first time ever, I did. I took screenshots of this game. I may show them here, probably not, but you can find them on my Twitter. I took a lot of screenshots of this game, and which was really easy to do so, by the way. The photo mode was very simple to get into. It was just one push of a button, and you get all the options. It'll stop the game mid-tracks, whatever you're doing, and you can take a photo of it. Like they knew is like exactly what you're going to be doing is like taking photos of it. But it was just stuff like that. It's just, there's so many moments of, okay, I gotta take a photo of this because the way that certain angles are, it just plays off itself well, and I think that's definitely one of the strong suits of this game, is the way it looks as an open world game and just a game in general. Let's get into the gameplay. The gameplay does well on whatever style you want to play as, either be a samurai or ghost. Give you a prime example of the samurai, you can do standoffs, which are, well, pretty self-explanatory. You announce yourself to the enemies, and you do a standoff, both enemies armed, ready to attack at any moment, and you have to wait until they attack before you can do a one-hit kill on them, which you can later chain to 2 other enemies. This whole sequence feels so good, and it makes you feel like such a badass. It is so much fun to do this. An example of being a ghost is, well, I guess a lot like being an assassin in Assassin's Creed, essentially. You can see where enemies are, you can assassinate them from either behind or jump on top of them, be on rooftops, try to be all sneaky-like, and you can chain the assassinations together. And also with your own tools of trades of like kunai, smoke bombs, and stuff like that. However, I think the one thing I wasn't expecting with the gameplay is a good blend between samurai and ghost. I've had moments where, well, a lot of moments, where have a whole swarm of enemies around me and I'm trying to defend myself with a sword, where I can just use a quick draw function of, say, the kunai, and I can hit multiple enemies and they'll be staggered and I can get free hits on those enemies. You have like stuff like that I just was not really expecting, and it just made it feel so much fun. And I played primarily the entire game like that, a good blend of the two. And stuff like that, the settings, the gameplay, that this is like one of the few open world games that made me want to explore and find things and just have a good time with it. There's very few open world games that do that for me. My overall thoughts of the game. This is probably one of my favorite games of the year so far. I really believe that. It checked off so many boxes, like I explained to you. It's beautiful, has a good story, the gameplay feels well enough, like it's a very good game. And you should definitely check it out if you're into open world games. Absolutely. Well, that's gonna do it for me today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you didn't, hit the dislike button. If you want to see more stuff like this, hit that subscribe button. I also have another project I'm calling the Remember series. Yeah, I think the Remember series. I gotta remember the name of the Remember series. Basically, there's a compilation videos that you can check out of clips from certain games that I put together. We have a new one up that I put up not long ago on Red Dead Redemption 2. Definitely should check that out. It'll probably be up here somewhere if you want to see that at any point. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you guys have been enjoying these videos a lot in this new format. This is probably the last time I'll mention it, because these are becoming more of a ramble and they're getting longer and longer. Anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on the next Klaus's Random Thoughts. Have a good day.